It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's time for endless top 10, bottom 10, end of the year retrospective bullshit. And I'm here to hop on that train. Hello, Champagne Dreamers. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. My name is Janessa, and I am North Dakota's trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. And for today's video, we're getting in on all of the end of year stuff. But instead of looking back at the year, we're going to be looking forward at 2023. And I'm going to be doing a redo of a video that I did last year, where I'm going to be talking about some brands that I want to try in 2023. But we're going to be doing it with a twist. So if you're excited to find out what brands I want to try in 2023 and what the secret twist is, then stick around because we're getting into it right now. Alright, so we're going to do 10 brands that I want to try in 2023, but we're doing it with a little bit of a twist, because I've also been looking at my shopping habits. I spend a lot of money on makeup. It's a problem. And so I was like, you know what? I want to maybe reduce some of the amount that I'm spending. And with my website being down this past year, I had a lot of products that kind of piled up. And I didn't really get to them because I was waiting until I could review them. And then once my website launched, I was busy at work. It's a whole, just on and on story of all these different reasons why I didn't get to them. So I decided that this year I was going to pick 10 brands that I want to try in 2023, but we're doing it sort of a shop my stash style. So all of these brands are brands that I either already own products from and just haven't ever tried, or that I've ordered over the holiday season when there's been Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, holiday sales, Christmas sales, Kwanzaa sales, Hanukkah sales, Festivus sales, whatever the fuck it is. People are just trying to move some goddamn merchandise. So I picked 10 brands that I already have in my collection or on the way that I'm going to try in 2023. No additional shopping required. And because I can never stick to a list, a number, I can never just go with that, I actually have 2 honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is Gourmand Girls. So this is the Spooked palette. I picked this up over Halloween, and I did a review on JanessaJaye.com. I loved it. It was a lot of fun, and it's actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. All of the shadows that you see on my eyes are from this palette, except the little inner corner pop is the Glamlight Scooby-Doo highlighter palette. So I used this black and this purple matte up here, this kind of fuchsia, this purple, and then pumpkin, this orangey shade, peachy shade with a green reflect. So yes, I technically have already used and reviewed the palette, but I have 3 other palettes that I've picked up from them that I still want to play with and try. So the C'est L'Amour palette I picked up when I ordered the Spooked palette. This is a collection of pinks and reds that's very beautiful. And during the Black Friday sale, I had to pick up the Radioactive and the Ethereal palettes. These are 2 palettes of beautiful duochromy, multi-chromy, shimmery shades. These are beautiful companion palettes. They were on sale. I couldn't resist. So I'm very excited to play with these and create some really cool, beautiful, shimmery looks. And the other honorable mention is Unearthly Cosmetics. So I bought their Halloween mystery boxes. You can see me unboxing those right up here in this video. And I did a full review of those products, but I haven't really played with any Unearthly Cosmetics since way back in the day when they were still Alien Cosmetics. So I had a couple of their palettes. I reviewed them on the old version of JanessaJaye.com, but since they've rebranded and reformulated, the only thing I've tried is the Mystery Box collection. And that could be the exact same quality, but who knows? Luckily, I have 2 palettes from them that are inspired by fabulous horror spooky icons. The So Strange palette, which is inspired by Beetlejuice, and the 1964 palette inspired by Lily Munster. So those are two honorable mentions where I've done a little bit of playing, I've done a little bit of reviewing, but I still want to play with them. But now we're going to get into the top 10 brands I want to try in 2023 that are in my collection or are on their way that I have never played with. So the first brand is Milan Row. This is the Poison Ivy palette that they did in collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny. I've been loving Doodles by the Bunny and the fun like palette collection, recreation, inspiration that they do on their Instagram. And I mean, they created a green palette. How was I going to resist that? Are you kidding? So I have never tried anything from Milan Row. This is the first palette that I've ever picked up. I've had this in my collection for a while. I've been meaning to play with it. Just haven't got around to it. That's part of what we're going to have to do in 2023 is we're going to have more makeup play days. We're going to have to bring some more makeup use content, not just reviews, but actual like looks and play onto JanessaJ.com and onto my channel. And I'm excited to play with this because these greens look gorgeous. The second brand that I'm super excited to play with in 2023 is Ace Beauté. Ace Beauté is a black-owned makeup brand, and I have played with some of their palettes in the past, but they were the classical Paradise Collection palettes, and I have completely reformulated. I didn't do shit, I don't work there. And they have completely reformulated all of their products since those palettes came out. So since they've done a reformulation, I haven't played with anything. And I have a couple of their products in my collection. I mean, no surprise, there's a green palette. I was going to pick it up. This is the Tropical Vibes palette from Ace Beauté. Very excited to play with this. We know. I talk about greens all the time. And these are beautiful. This is one of my favorite colors in the entire world. Like that sort of an emeraldy green. I love it. But I'm perhaps even more excited for Ace Beauté's gamification of my makeup routine. This is their Paletopoly game. And this is a lot of fun because it's a palette that comes with a game. So you get this gorgeous 90s inspired early 90s neon meets grunge kind of palette. I love this color story. I think it's a perfect blending of like the early 90s, which was still very neon, very 80s, and then it kind of slid into grunge and these grungier, darker, sort of twisted jewel tones after Nirvana showed up and fucked up the whole program. So I love this sort of collection, and Paletopoly is a game where it actually picks your shades for you. So basically you have this little notepad, and there are 4 sections of the eyes: the crease, outer corner, lid, inner corner, and lower lash line. And then there's a series of cards where you play a matching game, and the rules explain to you how to interpret the matching game. Each time you get a pair that the image matches, there will be 2 shade names, and then it tells you how to interpret it. It sounds really complicated when I'm explaining it. It's not, I promise. And so once you have gotten your 5 shades, you put them in the assigned places and see how your look turns out. Now, obviously, you can just play with the palette if you want to. You don't have to do the game, but it's just kind of a fun way to spice up your makeup routine, have a fun day with the girls, and just play with makeup. People have gotten so serious about makeup. I love when makeup invites me to play. So I cannot wait to play Paletopoly. I'll probably do a video on this channel where we do a Get Ratchet with me and play Paletopoly to pick the look. In the number 9 spot, it was bound to happen. I gave into peer pressure and I picked up the Serenity palette from Cosmic Brushes. So this is a beautiful palette, and I love the color story. It's very unique. You don't see a lot of palettes with this sort of selection. I love that there's some greens and purples and blues. That's my comfort zone. There's this weird peach that's just hanging out. There's some interesting oddball shades in here, and everybody that I have seen review this on YouTube is obsessed. So I had to pick this up. I had to wait for the 1700th restock. I don't know when I got it. This palette just like comes in and sells out and comes in and sells out. I'm excited to finally play with it now that I've received it in my collection. In the number 7 spot is a black-owned makeup brand that I actually found through a live premiere chat on Makeup by Torrance's channel. If you missed our collab, you can check that video out right here. And that is Playing in Makeup by Yolando. There were a lot of people who were in the premiere chat who were talking about how they had gotten in palettes from Playing in Makeup by Yolando. And at first I didn't know what it was because they kept calling it Pimby. Pimby. And I was like, Pimby. They're like, did you get your Pimby palette? Did you try this Pimby palette? And I was like, what the fuck is Pimby? And it turns out it's an acronym, Playing in Makeup by Yolando. Now, I'm gonna have to include a picture up on the screen somewhere. I can't find the big palette that I ordered. I ordered this one that I think is just called 007. And it's a green palette. And it's one that even tests my... Is this too much green? Is it? Is it? I don't know. I have to check and see because there's a lot of green and it looks like there might be some overlap. This is a little 5-pan palette that they included in my order just as a little free gift. And you can see there's some beautiful greens in this as well and then this really gorgeous blue. So I'm excited to play with it because all the people in Torrance's chat were raving about it. So it sounds like it's a really good brand and I'm excited to play around with a lot of greens and see, is there even a limit for me? Is there a possibility of too much green? What would that even look like? Actually, if you want to check those bottom two... Okay, so after all of that, I realized where I had left the palette. I have kind of a makeup organizer that's on the other side of my desk and it's a long walk, but I made Angie check. So this is the Color Scheme Pro 777 and as promised, many, many, many greens. Very excited. Another brand that I've been super excited to try is Lorella. Now they have drawn me in because they are in ads all over my Instagram. I did something to the algorithm, and so Lorella has been hitting it hardcore this holiday season. And I actually already had a palette from them. This is the Life is a Celebration. This was a collab with Angina. And this is kind of based on the Pride flags. It's really beautiful. It's a big palette. I just haven't had a chance to play with it. I didn't get it in time for Pride to do something, you know, for Pride looks or whatever. And so because it's Pride themed, I kind of set it to the side and forgot about it. Now recently I ordered the Lorella Christmas mystery boxes. You can check out that video right here to see what I got. And so in addition to having this palette with all of these beautiful Pride-inspired colors, I also have a ton of new products that came in those holiday mystery boxes. So I have a lot from Lorella to choose from, and I'm excited to play around and do some looks, do some colorful looks, maybe even do some neutral looks. Speaking of Instagram ads, in the number 5 spot, I can't show it off, I'll have to put pictures on the screen, I ordered from a Chinese brand called Flower Nose. Now, a while back, Angelica Nyqvist from Sweden did a video where she tried out some products that she got, I think it was a sponsored video, from a brand I think called Florasis. And it's one of those where it comes in the just absolutely exquisite packaging, and it's got those really intricate, ornate pressings, the like moldings into the pan, with all kinds of scenes of animals and people and all kinds of shit. Well, I kept getting ads on Instagram for a brand called Flower Nose, and they do a similar kind of thing where they do really intricate pan pressings in their blushes, but it was much cheaper than Florasis. So Florasis was very expensive. These were much more in that kind of typical Sephora range. So blushes were like 30, 25, things like that. So it was a little bit more on the affordable side. So I went ahead and placed an order for a few of their products. Now those have not come in yet, so I'll put them up on the screen. But they had this collection called Strawberry Rococo, which is so beautiful, and I cannot wait to get these products in. Now it looks like they like do a collection and then it sells out and then it's gone, and they do these rotating collections. I hope it comes in pretty soon. I know things from China can take a while, but I hope that I get it in before that collection sells out, because I didn't order a ton of it because it's not as expensive as Florasis, but it's still expensive enough at $25-30 that I didn't want to order a ton of it if it wasn't going to be good. But once it comes in, if it's good, I'm going to need some more of those products. Now, I will also say, like a lot of Chinese brands, like a lot of kind of Asian brands in general, the color selection is a little bit for the pasty folks, for my saltines, for my uncooked chickens, as Teresa's dad would say. It's definitely not as vibrant, not as good for deeper skin tones. There are a few darker products, but a lot of it is very pale pinks and beigey colors and that sort of thing. So the color selection could definitely be better, but I'm excited to try it out and see how it is. The next brand, number 4, is one that I remember seeing a while back, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then my friend Hex Suicide, who I have actually had the opportunity to model with. Love her, I adore her. She's friends with Brooklyn Ewing, and now she's friends with me. And we were on a live, and she mentioned Glam Goth Beauty. And she specifically mentioned the Hopeless Romantic Blush Palette. Look at how beautiful these blush colors are. I always love a blush palette, and these are blushes unlike any colors that I have in other palettes. These are very rich, these are very vibrant. This is a Black-owned makeup brand as well, so this is going to be really formulated for a lot of different skin tones. I mean, this like strawberry red, Beloved, gorgeous. This like berry purple shimmer blush, Romance. Paramore is like a true red blush. I'm so excited to play with this. But of course, blush is all well and good. I also need to have some fabulous eyeshadow. So this is the Lily Munstar palette, clearly not licensed. And this is a fun little collection of some pastels, some deeper colors. It's kind of an interesting interpretation of Lily Munster. Looks like Lily got her groove back. So I'm excited to play with both of these and see how they perform. And I'm excited to report back to Hex how these were, and who knows, maybe she'll pick up the blush palette as well. In the number 3 spot, another product that has not yet made its way to me. It's coming from Europe, and all of the emails for the order have been in French, so it's been an adventure. We've had to do some Google translating to figure out where my products are. But that is Martine Cosmetics. So I had seen a video that Angelica did where she reviewed the Diner collection. And that palette was kind of pretty. And I was like, I'm kind of interested, but not interested enough to actually try to order it. I was like, kind of interested, but not sure. Then in a new makeup releases video, I saw that they had something called the Mission Triple X palette. And it was a beautiful collection of some greens. I'm nothing if not predictable. But instead of pairing the greens with browns and other kinds of neutrals, to give it a neutral kind of flow, what they did was they added like black and gray and gunmetal and did this sort of sci-fi aliens kind of theme with it, which I thought was super cool. Now, when I went to order it, unfortunately, there was a highlighter palette that was already sold out, so I don't know if they're ever going to restock it. I'll have to keep an eye on the website, and I'll have to keep translating it because it's all in French. But I'm excited to try that highlighter palette because it looked like there were some interesting colors. But I was like, you know what? The palette is in stock. I'm going to go ahead and order it. I ordered a little blush trio, and I think I ordered a couple liquid lipsticks as well. So we're going to do a look with the Martine Cosmetics collection when it comes in. I'm very excited, especially that Mission Triple X. I just think it's a lot of fun. I know Angelica didn't pick it up because she doesn't like gray eyeshadows. I love a gray eyeshadow because I am a cool tone beast. I love cool tones and pinks and blues and purples and greens. And so I think pairing greens with grays and gunmetal is really smart. In the number 2 spot, I love an ooky spooky makeup moment, and I love that there are some brands that are starting to come out that's their whole shtick, that's their theme, and one of them is Creature Cosmetics. I have a couple of palettes from them already. Oh the Horror is just a beautiful, bright, fabulous, almost rainbow palette. To be a rainbow palette, it would need an orange. I'm not counting this because that's a pressed glitter. I don't love that, but we're gonna forgive them because this color story is a lot of fun. And of course, inspired by Jaws, we have the Shark Attack palette. This is just kind of a fun 4th of July, red and blue color story. Again, super excited to play with it. I think this one is a pressed glitter. Don't love that. But even though they do the pressed glitters in this economy, I am excited for this. I'm going to play around with it, but I'm most excited. I have it on pre-order. I don't know when it's going to ship. I don't know when it's coming. I cannot wait. They have done an officially licensed Sleepaway Camp collection. Sleepaway Camp is my absolute favorite horror movie in the world. And they did a palette that is Angela's face when at the very end of the finale, if you've seen it, when she's like growling it's that, and then you pull it off, kind of like the shark palette, and there's beautiful kind of rainbow fun colors underneath it. There's a little makeup bag that's got the box artwork from the VHS, which I remember seeing in a store when I was a kid, when I was way too young to watch it, but I watched it anyway. And then there was a button collection, and they said that if you bought the whole collection while supplies last, you got a free signed piece of artwork from Felissa Rose. So Felissa Rose was the star of Sleepaway Camp. She starred as Angela, and I've actually met her several times at Days of the Dead events, and we've kind of become low-key friends, and I die when I think about it still, because I have been obsessed with that movie for years. That was one of the first horror movies that I remember seeing that really sort of tested my ideas about gender, and like it really got me thinking about what they were presenting in that movie, even before I had a lot of the words that I knew how to talk about it. And then when I went to grad school, I was doing my master's thesis around male to female portrayals in film. So when people cross gender boundaries, people who are assigned male at birth, who are presenting as feminine or female or however it is, there was a lot of different categories, there was a lot of different types of portrayals, and I did a whole chapter on horror films, and it really centered around Sleepaway Camp, because I was still wrestling with that movie, and to this day I'm still trying to figure it out. And it is celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2023. It was released on November 18th, 1983, and so 40 years later we are still talking about it, still obsessed, and there is a new collection coming out from Creature Cosmetics, and I just hope that it's good, but I cannot wait. I am so excited for this. I'm so excited. And I was going to message Felissa and be like, did you know that this company is doing this Sleepaway Camp thing? And then they said, oh, if you order the full collection on this pre-order while supplies last, you'll get a signed piece of art from Felissa Rose. I was like, I guess she does know. So that's very exciting. I am super stoked to try Creature Cosmetics in 2023. And in the number one spot, the brand that I am most excited to try in 2023, Odin's Eye.
Say what?
I have been picking up quite a few products from Odin's Eye. In fact, if you want to see me unboxing their spring mystery boxes, check out this video right here. And one of my favorite YouTubers in the whole world, Angelica Nyqvist, did a collab palette with them this last year. But all of these products have just been piling up in my office, and I haven't actually played with them. I just look at them and I'm not sure what to do, and I feel overwhelmed, and I was like, I need to do it. I need to play with these. This is Angelica's Hella palette that she did this year with Odin's Eye. Now this is the outside sleeve. Usually I throw away the sleeves, but if you look, you can see this is kind of like sepia toned, and then you slide it off and it's this beautiful full color version. So I even kept it because the sleeve is cool. But then you open it and it's this beautiful collection of greens and pinks and these fun kind of blackened plum colors at the bottom. I love this. I just haven't gotten to it. Again, my website being down really kind of messed with my program. I haven't been keeping up with reviews. And now that my website is back up, I've been so busy with work and I've got so many things sitting here waiting to be reviewed that I've been trying to prioritize. And so something like this isn't available for sale anymore. So this is never going to be at the top of the review pile, because if I review it, you can't buy it. So I have decided that I need to just set aside some time to have a play day. Maybe I'll do like a Face Friday look or something with this, because it doesn't really make sense to put it at the top of my review list because you can't get it anymore. But I love this palette. I'm super excited to play with it. And then, of course, we have their holiday palettes. So this is the Christmas Eve palette and the Merry Christmas palette. These are probably the biggest hyped up release for the holidays. It's one of the biggest that I've seen in years. It's certainly the biggest this year. These sold out really fast. Unfortunately, these are not coming back. So again, it didn't make sense to bump them to the top of the review list. I mean, this Cool Tone collection is such a fun, interesting mix of blues, this like sagey green, this like weird mustard color. Just a fun, interesting collection of colors. They always do something that's a little bit surprising, a little bit out there. It's always like something that you could maybe have put together yourself, but then there's a little bit of a twist. There's a few shades that you're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to put those there. That's really fun. I like that. And very similar to the Hella palette, but with different shades, we have a lot of greens and some pinks, this beautiful orange. You've got your true Christmas red and green, but it's not a boring Christmas palette. It's got those colors that you expect for Christmas. It's got some green, it's got some red, it's got some gold. I cannot wait. This one with the Hella palette together, I think could really pair nicely together. I think they're going to be beautiful. So I'm excited. And all those things that I got in the mystery boxes, I still haven't played with those. I just need more makeup playtime. I just need to win that Mega Millions, hit that Powerball, so that I can just sit around and play in makeup all day. So that is my number one brand that I cannot wait to try in 2023, Odin's Eye. So that is the end of the video. Those are my top 10 brands, asterisks, plus a couple of honorable mentions that I cannot wait to try in 2023. I'm hoping to bring Face Friday back in some form to my website, so you'll get to see some application. I want to do a little bit more makeup play on the channel as well. I'm going to have a video coming up where I talk more about that, but this is the video for now. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these brands? What do you think about the fact that a bitch has ordered all of these products and they've just been sitting here waiting for me to play with them? I am a harbinger of late stage capitalism. I am the problem. I get it. I get it. You don't have to tell me in the comments that I'm wasteful or whatever. Just let me know what you think about these brands. If there are any other brands, I mean, I said I want to do a Shop My Stash version, but I'm also always open to finding new indie brands, new black-owned makeup brands, new queer-owned makeup brands, all that kind of stuff. If you know of other brands that you're like, no, bitch, you should maybe take a break and try something new, let me know in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to give me that thumbs up. Or if you just thought this was ridiculous, you cannot believe that I've let myself accumulate this much stuff without playing with it, give me that thumbs down. It's all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the Champagne Dreamers. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads. I upload at least one video a week, and sometimes, if you're very, very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, stasherific. These are never any good. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. I'm so glad that you showed up. I hope you had a wonderful year. I hope you're looking forward to the year ahead. There's going to be more year-end, new year kind of content coming to the channel. Not a lot. I don't like to overdo it because I get sick of it myself really fast, but definitely there's going to be a best beauty of 2022, so look out for that. And until I see you again, bye.